Alright, welcome viewers. Today we're going to be talking about 3D printers and we're going to be doing an unboxing of something very interesting. It is an addition to my 3D printer. I'm pretty new with 3D printing. I've been doing 3D prints for some months. I find it very fascinating. I can do small household things. I can fix some broken parts, can do many very useful things with it. I have a very simple printer. It is an Elegoo Neptune 4 Pro, which is a clipper based printer. So it's a bed slinger, meaning that the print bed moves back and forth. So that's the that is the x-axis, and then the gantry where the print head sits, that moves in the y-axis and the z-axis, so side to side and then up and down. I might have got this, the x and y mixed, but you get the idea. It's a very inexpensive printer. I think it's a good printer for the first printer you buy, maybe even the second printer. I do especially like the fact that it's a clipper printer, meaning that you can use it remotely. There are native network capabilities in the printer. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, but it has wired network, so you can use it from your computer. You can use a program like I use Orca Slicer, which directly controls the printer, so I can start the prints directly from the computer. It's not flawless. I have had an issue with the software after updating the firmware. There's an issue with it where the printer can come unresponsive. But the good thing is that Elegoo support seemed to be answering very quickly. I sent them an email as well as asking in the Reddit group, and they answered in less than a day. They tried to help me with some live assistance in chat, and when it became obvious that the printer actually still has a problem that they were not able to fix there with software, they immediately sent me over parts. So I'm waiting on receiving a new mainboard assembly and some other parts from them, obviously without any charge. And they said if there's any customs charges, they will reimburse me afterwards. So it looks like the company is taking care of their customers. I haven't received the spare parts yet, but I don't expect there to be problems. But the printer itself, I think, is a good choice for the price. It's about 300 euros shipped pretty much everywhere in the world. I think there might be even some holiday season discounts ongoing. So that's my printer, and let's get on with the unboxing. So we will be doing an unboxing of this. This is the 3D Chameleon multi-material system for a 3D printer. So this is the first time of me opening it. Let's see what is inside. It is supposed to be pretty much plug and play. There's a little bit of fitting you need to do to make it fit your specific printer. But that's mostly to have the PTFE tube fit the hot end. So let's have a look what it's inside. This is a US based company, a small company making this product. I decided to buy it after having a look at their installation video, which made it look like very simple and convenient. There's the guy's name who makes it. I'm in the EU. The shipping was very quick. It took maybe a week or so, week and a half, so I'm sure it was air freight. All right, so that's some more zip ties. Anything else in the box? One more zip tie there. Two actually. There was apparently a small bag of something. Okay, it's for the utility knife. So that's very nice. They even give you the utility knife to use with it. I'm still gonna use the cyber tool though. So let's see what's in here. That is the power supply, it looks like. It is a US plug, but it does say 100 to 240 volts and 50 or 60 hertz. So it should work in pretty much every part of the world. Just need to put the converter plug to the EU style there. And the output is 12 volts, 1 amp. And there's a pretty standard looking barrel jack there, so I'm sure you could use this with a power supply you already have in case you don't have a adapter for the thing. Here should be the business end of it. And I'll put a link in the description for the product itself and the YouTube video for it. But what this essentially is and does is a four-way splitter. There's two motors here. They're stepper motors, probably some, pretty standard NEMA motors. And there are four PTFE tubes here. And one extruder or one of these motors moves the filament from one of the two tubes, and the other one kind of selects which tube to use. So you have a four-way split. And here is the combiner. So all of these feed into this tube, which then goes into the printer. Of course, when it's switching over to another color, it has to retract the filament back all the way here to be able to feed the new one in, which means that there's going to be at least 20 centimeters of backward movement on the filament. And I have a solution for that. We'll be going over it soon. So it looks like there's a pretty long length of these tubes here, and then a couple of connectors, and that's the movement part. And here is the limit switch, or it's not a limit switch actually. This is a switch that you attach to your printer somewhere. It's holes here that you're supposed to fix it with the small zip ties, and you put it somewhere in the printer so that your printing bed or perhaps the gantry will click this. And this is actually how the machine works. It calculates how long this button has been pressed, if it's half a second, 3 seconds, 6 seconds. The guy explains it all in the video how it works, and that's how it knows what to do. So basically, it's like Morse code, what it's doing. So the G code in your prints will move either the print bed or the gantry, however you want to configure it, move to touch the switch in the correct time to make this thing move. And the switch then controls the brain box here. So the switch connects here, and then the motor connects here, and based on how long the switch is being pressed, it moves the motors and moves the filament into place. It's I think pretty ingenious and kind of simple and a very generic option. So this should basically work with any printer. It's not using any features of the printer itself. It's not limited by them. And all the configurations will go into the G code, moving the printer, which then controls the switch. And here there's a bunch of these PTFT tube connectors, some screws, and some mounting plates and things of that nature. So that's the simple unboxing, and we'll do an installation video separately. But now let's have a look at what the solution is for the filament going back, because you know the filament spool, when it's turning, if you turn if you push the filament back the wrong way, it can come untangled and sort of make a huge mess of your filament spool. So let's have a look at what the solution for that is. This is the solution. It's a filament retraction system. This is not designed by me. I will link to it in the description. But what it is a stand where the filament roll will stand like this. On top of these two rollers, the rollers are printed. They have a series of small springs inside and 608 bearings at the end of them. They fit into the system like this. And the filament spool rolls normally on top of them. But they also gather up some resistance. So when the filament spool is rolling on them, they gather this resistance. And when the system, the 3D Chameleon, starts to push the filament back, the rollers roll the spool back so it doesn't get tangled. And there's a clutch, so the system doesn't over tighten the springs. So you can turn it and you can hear maybe this sound when the clutch is engaging and letting it slip. And whenever you let go, it rolls back. So 4 of these will sit in a dry box with the rollers, and the system will feed the filament through the dry box wall, through a PTFE tube, and into the 3D Chameleon. And using the right settings on the slicer, we can print with 4 different materials. I'll be doing a video on the build as well. I hope that was interesting to you, and I hope I see you in the next video. Thank you.